Hi there, honey figure. Hi there, figure. Hi, how you doing? How do you make it? I'm exhausted. I am exhausted. There is no other way to put it. I'm just utterly exhausted. Oh, what happened to the making the corner, by the way? There you are. There we go. Hi. Yep. Anyway, today we'll be working on the video. I can't believe that it is actually right now 6 p.m. and I have only managed to get enough work done to begin my work. I've had a day. I've had a long day. But yes, I have a video that needs making. I haven't drunk any coffee, by the way, in 3 days, I think. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. But yeah, it's been a long day. So I'll just be, working. Okay. Oh, that really sounds nice. I actually recall myself sounding pretty nice. I'm still gonna add the parametric equalizer and all the fancy things and bobs just to make this pleasant, and because then it doesn't clash with the music as well. I think box voice thing, yes. Neat, festive, and lovely. I do believe I usually play this in the beginning. How are you all doing? How are you doing? I only think about how are you doing, figure. How have your days been going? I'm good right now, although last night and this morning was a bit rough preparing for my uni math exercise. Ooh, what kind of math exercise is it? Broke. There we go. This. Okay. Splendid. Absolutely splendid. I'm doing alright today. I don't have anything to do, so I'm just going to relax for most of the day before getting to work on whatever. That's really nice. That's really, really nice. I like that. Taking it down for yourself. That's good. Hey, already 20. Oh, why is it like this? Oh, that animation is. Oh my goodness, make it. Resolution effect. There we are. Hi there, Remy. Hi. I'm gonna drive home and eat something. I haven't eaten there yet. You sound a bit tired, Nikki. I am very tired. It's been a long day. As I mentioned, I don't think there is a better display of just how long of a day it has been for me, considering how I genuinely and only now right now starting work on the video. And trust me, I have been working the entire day. But it doesn't matter, you know what? Carpe diem, or whatever they say. I live in the present, am I right? And in the present, there is work I need to do. So focus on that, because if I'm productive today, I still have possibly 2 phone calls I need to take. So I apologize in advance if they disrupt the stream. I'll need to mute myself to take a phone call. But if I'm productive today, then it's possible that this video could finish by tomorrow, which would be really nice. I have 6 hours to be fair, and I would need to animate and edit these 2 segments, which is not a little, but it's not crazy lot. So we'll see. Already some viewer scripts. There we go. Neat. Hi, the Panzer. How you doing? Oh, what are the 2 animations for the slope? Because that one is backwards, that's fine. Should be a simple fix. Wait, no. This one is backwards. This one is correct. Yes. I had a geometry. I find the geometric interpretation of something, the function is interesting. Yeah, because they're very intuitive. Are they not? They're always really intuitive, which is really nice. Just casually making axioms because I can. Yeah, why not? Okay, I haven't messed up. Good. This is such a fancy animation. I don't need to toot my own horn here, but it is really fancy animation. Derivatives again, yeah, but this time partial derivatives, and they are needed because I cannot explain the harmonic oscillator without the chain rule. I have the full script. Hold on, let me open it up. I have the full script of a harmonic oscillator, just ready to go. Full one. At the end, there's a little bit of conclusion, but that's fine. Ready to go. The only thing stopping me is the fact that it needs the chain rule, and I have not yet explained the chain rule. I skipped it. I don't know why we changed the top chat. Yeah, I don't know either. It's honestly, even after 1,000 live streams, still baffles me, and I still need to manually change it myself. I don't know why it's done that way. I don't know who uses Top Chart. Or maybe it's, I mean, I suppose for like bigger YouTubers maybe it makes sense. Oh, that is fancy. That is fancy. I would know. I've made it. There we go. You just explain the channel at the beginning, if that's feasible. The thing is, you see, hold on, let me I need to explain it. For the harmonic oscillator, we end up with the equation of, from memory, minus k by m a, no, backwards, minus m k a is equal to x, like this. And in this scenario, we have, this effectively translates to a minus mk x double dot is equal to x, this. And in this scenario, I need this kind of chain rule, right? Like this. There we go. But for the next harmonic oscillators video, I will need a different kind of chain rule because I will need the Poisson's brackets. So I will need those suckers, and they will require the chain rule of the form like this. And if I recall correctly, it's G F. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, one of them is flipped, one of them isn't. I think this should have a minus, but I'm not certain. And these are both, like, you know, both these are just... Why did they make the factory longer? Was it to increase the output? The longer day factory wasn't enough, they made the longer day factory. So that's the reason why I'm putting it into a dedicated video, because both of these will be needed eventually. It's just that they will both be needed for funny enough, they will both be needed for harmonic oscillators. It's just that there will be two different kinds, because this will be the normal harmonic oscillator and this one will be the Hamiltonian harmonic oscillator. This one will be with the Newtonian formalism. I mean, this just stems from the notion of a force, F is equal to mx double dot, and this one stems from the Hamilton's equations. Well, the Poisson brackets are more to like justify the quantum mechanical formalism, but it's still needed. It's still needed, so that's why this video. But yeah, otherwise I would have just explained at the very beginning. This way, right? There we go. Can I state my axiom that I made? Sure, go for it. Smooth, replacing the Y. Splendid. We already have a minute done. Hey, we're on fire. Jeez. because I really enjoy that, especially explaining the stuff to other people. I have a video which includes, if I recall correctly, all axioms of Euclidean geometry. And funny enough, that video is about Hilbert spaces, because nothing on my channel makes sense. There we are, first section done. My goodness, that was quick. Well, to be fair, up until that point I had pre-rendered animations, which I no longer have, which means it's gonna slow down, but still really nice. Where Panzer, I don't know if you've added an additional comment in between the two and YouTube just ate that comment, because when you said where, that really feels like something was supposed to be in between these two, but YouTube just ate it. YouTube just took it. Because it really feels like you were defining something and then said that for where r of f and y is equal to sum of all I, y at I0 qi. And qi is equal to f nu generated in level I. For all f and rf, y f nu is not distinct from any other f. I feel like we're missing a crucial part, or at least I am. Alright. Now it's time. Splendid. Alright, let's keep going then. Did I render this already? I did. Well, that's unnecessary because we're not going to go in that direction. We're going to just pan up the camera. Oh yeah, and because I changed the nodes, damn it. I changed the nodes, and so this node right here died on me. And that's because of the function. Because it is taking the wrong function. This one. Why are you taking the wrong function? Is it because the base squared and then plus 1? No, that should be correct. Oh, that's for a derivative. Wait, no. I mean, it should be for a derivative. That doesn't look like the derivative. Basically, a function f take x squared plus 1 equals 0 can be rearranged to give many other expressions f at many levels I till a point f, which are also tactically different, but all can simplify to f. No, hold on, it would take me like an extra 2 tries to understand this. Hold on, first just knock. I don't know what your axiom means, but I have a natural discharge of people who won't back up their math with English. Jeez. Hi there, Timon. Hi, welcome. Basically, a function f, so take for example x squared. I'm so sorry, there are people drag racing outside my window. That's just the neighborhood I live in. A function f, take x squared plus 1 equals 0, can be rearranged to give many other expressions f at many levels I till a point f, which are all syntactically different, but can all simplify to f. I'm a bit confused because first of all you mentioned the function, but in a function this wouldn't really be a valid function because you already evaluated, and you evaluated at x equals I, if I am not mistaken. Point y. So that leaves me a bit confused. Function can be rearranged. I don't think I understand. And I think that is mainly because, as I mentioned, YouTube ate what seemed to be a crucial part of the axiom. So I could just leave this messed up. Alright, good enough. And in the meantime, as it's rendering, I would really like to get a move on to finish the harmonic oscillator video because it's not finished and that bothers me. Okay, as you are typing away, I'm also going to be typing away. Derivative of sine is a cosine, derivative of which is negative sine, which means we're going to get the wrong quantity. Sine isn't equal to sine, then okay. From push, how do we get out with the lighting? See last video about this. Might have noticed that so used to Mickey Mouse playing Oppenheimer in the background to face you get over it. Oppenheimer isn't that old of a movie. How recent was that face? Hi there, all matter. Hi. Hi, Make It. How you doing? Allow me to answer that question with a visual, if I may. There it is. I've had a long day. X squared plus 1 equals 0 and x squared equals minus 1 are syntactically different but semantically the same. I will be honest with you, Panzer, I don't know how equalities work because as far as I'm aware, and so take this with a grain of salt because as I mentioned, I'm not that great at mathematics. As far as I'm aware, equality does just mean that two things are equal. So if you have x squared plus 1 equals 0, then this equality normally in mathematics isn't considered an object. That's more like saying that you can swap them around and substitute them and, you know, it will all be handy-dandy, if you will. I think that there could be something category theory adjacent, some kind of something like that, where equality does matter, but I'll be honest, that is not a branch of mathematics I've ever been close to. The closest I've been to mathematics is physics, possibly a bit of computer science. and that does not come and that does not operate in the same kinds of circles as, like, I don't even know what to call it, meta-analysis. That sounds like an awful name. The point is that in your now, once again, take it with a massive grain of salt, because you're making me catch my mind. Well, as I mentioned, take it with a massive grain of salt, because I am not, like, knowledgeable in this area of mathematics, but your axiom does seem to require for the equality to be a kind of object you can operate with, if you will. Okay. Turning off paint and seeing this is honestly brilliant. I'm gonna keep it in the background just so I can constantly surprise myself. You might have noticed that if we satisfying the exact property we need, the chain, that's because the chain states that if we have a derivative like 1x squared plus 1 equals 0 and x squared is the same, so I don't know, I'm dumb, man. Well, don't bring yourself down too quickly. All I said is that it's not an area of mathematics that I'm knowledgeable in. Because there probably is a way to define equality, I imagine, that allows you to operate with it. I'm just not familiar with that way. I mean, category theory, what even is category theory? Mathematical object from piece one of some complex category. Duality. Yeah. There we go. Look into category theory, see what's up. That should answer all your questions. Oh, everyone loves category theory. Should I say that's evaluated at? That's a good question. How should I phrase this? If we have a derivative of a function size, like for example f of g of x, then the derivative equals to the derivative. Are you back home, make it? Yes, I am. I am in fact back home. This gives us a very convenient way to bring out the derivative side our function, and even better, so let's think this way. Every step of derivation. How was it visiting outside your country for the first time? Did you like the lowlands? Well, I wasn't visiting it for the first time. I mean, the Netherlands I was, but I wasn't outside my country for the first time. I was in Germany a month prior. But I will say it is surprisingly flat. It is surprisingly flat. It's quite comical, honestly. It doesn't feel like a real country. Most of it used to be sea, and it's flat. And when you cross the bike lanes, you need to look both ways, which I find hilarious. It was fun. I genuinely had extremely high expectations, and they were met. So that's a pleasant, always a pleasant feeling. But you didn't stay in Germany for as long, if I'm not wrong. Well, I didn't stay in the Netherlands for as long either. We genuinely stayed in the Netherlands for. Well, I imagine Remco stayed a little bit longer. But we genuinely stayed in the Netherlands as long as we worked there, and then left the next morning. We all our time in the Netherlands has been spent working. But we proved, hey, at least we succeeded. That's something. This requires a lot of different thoughts to be linked together, which might be rough. Netherlands a bit from Germany, so cool. I will say that I did enjoy the Netherlands, but Germany I don't see much of a difference. I mean, Frankfurt was nice, but that's because it's just a really well designed big city. But Germany as Germany on its own, I genuinely didn't see a difference. Well, everything was more expensive. That's one. That one was quite noticeable to me. My goodness. Okay. Germany has really nice natural size where you go by train, and there's mostly cities and fields. Yeah, Netherlands has only two. It has either urban places or it has farms. I haven't seen a third one. I've never seen anything. It was so funny because at one point we were just driving down the road, and on the left it was just like urban area, and on the right it was just a farm. And that was pretty funny. Did you pack Perry the 3D printer when you went there? I wish. No, I travel very lightly. If it wasn't for the fact that I had camera equipment with me, I would have only brought my backpack. Which next time I will have only my camera equipment with. Well, next time I will have my camera equipment with me, and I will still, I think, only bring a backpack. I'll try to pack more efficiently. I travel very lightly. I don't like bringing too many things. I don't have too many things. I can't afford to lose them. Okay, there we go. The chain rule. The chain rule, which looks like this, if I'm not mistaken. We're doing the bit more. I don't want to call a bit more yucky, because I mean the partial derivatives one is just looks nicer. Version of the chain rule, which is this. Oh, and I'll get to explain it with my beloved gears. How convenient. There we are. I thought you packed a lot more, given how attached you have become to the objects in your living space after years of solitary life. I sometimes, my goodness, had I been a weaker man, had I been a weaker man, I genuinely would not have survived all of you. That's genuinely. Oh, that cuts deep. That cuts deep. Right. Derivatives. We have the function, and then we have the other function. The function, and then the other function. Nope, this one. There we go. Emission of which will be slightly more tinted, I imagine. Towards the greenery. It is a bit ugly, I will mention. Well, I will. I won't deny. The color theme is a bit ugly, but it's meant to serve as an explainer, and it's hard to pick colors when you put arbitrary rules on yourself for no reason. There we go. Neat. Back to harmonic oscillator. Yeah, this is tricky because there's a lot of things happening all at once. It's tempting to just give the answer and then explain it, because that would be much easier, but it's way more fun to come up with it. So how could I guide this through? Because the idea behind solving the harmonic oscillator is that you need a lot of things to come together at the same time. You need the chain rule to give you the way to multiply, a way to get out, way to multiply by deriving, like this. You need this derivative. You need the second order derivative of this to be equal to 0. That's also what you need. And then you need the fact that double dot is equal to, well, a double or the second order derivative. These are the three things you need. Also make it. How do I complete the first checkpoint on the website? Like, what do I recognize it to be completed? We don't have that as a functionality yet. Oh, the checkpoint isn't. Well, I mean, the checkpoint is not to be completed. It's not. It's we'll get to it. I'll get to it eventually. Was there one thing you missed from the Lowlands after returning home? To be completely honest with you, Josnok, for the past solid 2 weeks, I've been in a bit of a fugue state. So I can tell you facts about my journey. I can tell you what I've seen, what I hadn't. If you're asking me about my emotional reaction to it, that's a blank plate. Like, imagine just a blank page, and that is about as accurate of a description as you can get. We need these three facts to come together, and only once they come together all at the same time, this allows us to solve the harmonic oscillator, because we have a function which second order derivative, this crucially is of time as well, should be mentioned, because a derivative in relation to time, like this. No, wait, no, I'm an idiot. X like this is equal to xt times a constant. We also have a minus, which we get rid of the minus by setting this to a sign, and we use these three facts to account for the constant. How can I slice this cake? Good emotions. Do you enjoy working with people in person? Can we explore more of that soon? You really, Josh, no, you just said forget emotions and then asked me, did you enjoy? I mean, I can answer the next question of can we expect more of that soon? I can answer I can answer absolutely yes. In fact, the second checkpoint is already in the works. We've already begun planning it and we have begun working on it. This, as I mentioned, the idea is that we did the big reveal and then we are expanding on it. So throughout the entirety of this month, I will be making more videos, I will be updating the website, I will be adding all the functionalities, adding all the things. And then, what's the topic of the second checkpoint? That is a state secret. That is an estate secret of the highest caliber. That shan't be revealed. there are 2 months left. Less than 2 months. 2 months minus 1 day till the second checkpoint. Oh, if someone only hadn't bloody forgotten about the depth of field setting. Okay, I'm not going to render the entire thing. I am going to render this. There we are. Splendid. Right. There are 2 things of note. First of all, we don't want as much of fun it is imagining you as a crazy soul scientist. I really enjoy the dynamic of you and Remco, especially on the cooking stream, and Ash as well. You have no idea just how much of a dynamic I have with Remco. We genuinely, it happens so often where we just have wireless communication in our heads. Like, me and Remco could walk into a room, spend an hour in there, leave, and we would have the same thing on our mind as we have left. Genuinely. It is a sight to behold. And Ash is also really fun, but extremely math-rotted. Ash just, mathematics got to him. It is clearly been a victim everywhere it goes. In the Taylor series of you said the second derivative is the curvature and the third derivative is curvature. Wouldn't the curvature of curvature be the fourth derivative? Yes. I just said it because I meant that it is the change of change, etc. And I didn't quite honestly put much care to someone reading into it. So I just left it. Because the explanation still stands. We also spent a devilish amount of time just trying to figure out a really nice interpretation of hypercurvature that wasn't just like the information that it's hypercurvature, only some kind of like really nice, intuition for it. But there just isn't. It's just hypercurvature. The whole time I felt like watching 2 main characters in the show. The chemistry was perfect. I appreciate that, Just Look. I appreciate that. You can stay tuned for absolutely way more me and Remco collabs. Before the next checkpoint, actually, the topic of which shall remain a secret for now, there will actually be a video video I will make with Remco, which we are internally referring to as the Make It Tenet. And I don't know if you have seen Tenet, but if you have, then you better believe it's going to be quite incredible. The Make It Tenet is something I am genuinely really looking forward to, even though it will require a lot of work. Genuinely so much work. But it will be really nice. It's just nice that we're finally getting into like proper physics videos, Even this one ends in an example with Hamiltonian Lagrangian. Finally proper physics. Right here I need to highlight them, so let's highlight. There we go. So then this. I could have done it more efficiently. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Nobody crying over spilled milk. It's fine. And about Ash, he deserves a math channel on your Discord, how much effort he put, or a math physics channel, since there's already math one last time I checked. I mean, yeah, the thing that's incredible is that, hold on, let's go to the message. Right. The thing with Ash is that Ash is genuinely really talented and skilled. You wouldn't think it, but Ash is actually on the beginning of the math journey. I am completely all for giving a maths physics channel to Ash, but he has that the rule still stands. He has to be going through his masters, at least. Well, no, actually, not at least. No, that's the rule, isn't it? You need to be going through your masters in order to get the channel. Such is a rule. I don't make the rules. What can I say? Hi there, Macaroni. How you doing?
Hi. Arch, what do you expect?
Yep. There we go. That's what brilliant. I suppose as I'm working on this as well. No. I first need to get a move on. Macaroni is so loud. Hold on, let me turn it down.
Really?
There we go. Now it should be more quiet. I think it's because I'm just genuinely really quiet, mainly because, well, I'm exhausted. There. Now I am 3 decibels louder. This is crazy. From his explanation, one assumes he's already doing his masters. As I mentioned, yeah, Ash is just genuinely really skilled and talented. It is incredible. Honestly, the crew is amazing. It is hilarious. When we were in Frankfurt as well, we had this moment where we were just walking right next to the river, and it just felt like, you know, Einstein walking with Oppenheimer, that sort of thing. It was absolutely brilliant. We were talking about if there was a way to revolutionize physics, what would it be? That was the topic of conversation, and my goodness, that was incredible. I shan't reveal too much from that conversation because honestly, most of it we're planning to patent. We're planning to patent theoretical physics. You see, we're one step ahead.
Makes sense.
But it was quite incredible. Also, that's not even mentioning the secret member. The new secret member. Oh, the tension. But first, the harmonic oscillator video, because it's important, because I want to cover all of the harmonic oscillators, all of them, every single one. First of all, we don't want derivative outside to have an x, because then
No positron, the thing is, it's me. I'm the secret member.
Macaroni is, yeah. And then in 2 months I'm gonna be on the live stream and Macaroni will just show up. No one will expect it.
Absolutely nobody.
The Tenet idea sounds fun. That reminds me of a hidden story video of yours on your channel. If you make anything like that in the future, but with more people, it will be so fun to watch. I genuinely so badly want to make a sequel, but I don't have the time or money. You can hear in my voice just how much time I have, and money is somehow even worse. But matters not. Life can keep bringing me the sourest of lemons, and I'll keep squishing the most delicious of lemonades. Okay. Now this.
So, positron, is this your final guess? for an answer here.
You know what? In the meantime, I need to bring my mood up.
Alright, I'm gonna lock that in. Flame is locked in.
I mean, I sure hope he is. He's doing his PhD right now. He better be. He's really busy.
I'm gonna be the philosopher of the team. Also, apparently I'm quiet now.
From one thing to another. Let's try this. There we go.
Does it work now? Am
I have no idea. The entire time you sound fine to me. So
Yeah, that's what I'm talking to Positron.
anyway, what happened in Germany? I thought you went there when one of your 3D printers got stuck in the delivery. Was there more? Oh, Josnok, absolutely not. No, we went there to plan the checkpoint. We went there to we went to Germany because we had to figure out what the checkpoint would be even about, and that's where we settled on the idea of it being about time evolved quantum mechanics, so the time evolution operator. I wasn't actually going to Germany for a 3D printer. The 3D printer came, it just came late, because, well, DHL sucks. Why are the streams scattered everywhere? They're scattered everywhere because to be honest, they're scattered between mainly three. The three channels are the main one, which gets the big live streams, this one, which gets the small ones, and the shitpost one, which gets the silly ones. That's the division of labor there.
Been thinking about charge and like, is the only thing that determines what an element is the amount of protons?
Yes, that's the thing defining the element. You have
because otherwise, how's it called? Charging up your hair from a balloon wouldn't make sense because you would then change the element.
Yeah, you have three things there, which is amount of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons determines the type of an atom, so hydrogen, helium, etc. Electrons determines the ion, so charged positively, negatively, and neutrons determine the isotope. That's just how we figured them out, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I saw on your community tab about the meetup of viewers. Can we expect something like that when you hit 100,000 subscribers? No, not for 100,000 subscribers, but for 1,200 live streams. So in 150 live streams, that is the plan. That is dependent, I will not lie, on how the charity will do. Because so far, it has been a headache. One of the phone calls I'm waiting for is specifically about the charity, actually. About that. And so there is... I know I won't bore you with the details. Why am I boring you with the details? That's not relevant. Because I'm punk rocker, yes I am. Yes, I am brilliant. Because then we take it. Injures the product group. If some other equation gets weird. Stop. Here's the other derivative including x, and here is it without an x. See? This option. Second of all, we need to remember that it is the second order derivative. I don't want to sound negative or demotivating, but to be honest, I feel like you started charity a bit too early in your career, but I think it's really cool and I think you'll make it happen. First of all, I appreciate that. Second of all, um, I wouldn't call that being negative or demotivating. I would just say that it's accurate. The thing is, so I will
Make it
not
happen.
lie. I will not lie. I have. There's no other way to put it. I fucked myself. That's the only way I can put it. I. Yeah, no, that's it. That's honestly about how good I can put it. Yeah. But at the same time, all I need to do is survive the next 2 months. If I survive the next 2 months, then that means the charity will succeed, most likely. Uh, and I don't see a way in which I wouldn't survive the next 2 months. They're gonna. No, I'm not gonna enjoy them. I will not lie. I'm not gonna be sitting here and pretend as if it's sunshine and rainbows. I mean, it is, but not for me right now. But at the same time, all I need to do is just work, and that's it.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it reference on my Make It stream.
Who's that?
Outrageous.
Who's that? If
Oh my
someone-
god, let me tell you all about this guy, Make It. He's like one of the most annoying people I've met.
If someone offered to animate for free, would you accept it? And is it okay if it were not the same style as yours? Nanosterical. First of all, I'm really sorry for butchering your nickname. Nanosterical. There we go. That is a brilliant question, and I kid you not. After today's stream, I am going to record a video about the state of the charity. I want to make them more often, just as general updates, and that is genuinely something I would like. I will do you one better. My plan was to find some people to help me with the animations. I would teach them how to make animations, and then if, first of all, I find that that the animations work, and second of all, if the charity is in position to do so, both these are big ifs. I don't want to oversell anything. Both these are big ifs. But if both these things happen, then I would just like to straight up hire them. Is what I would like to do. In 2 months' time, or, well, a month is optimistic, but 2 months' time. That's still optimistic, but hey, I'm an optimist. Now, I don't want to oversell it because there is a lot of uncertainty still in the air. I'm working on
No
it,
way.
but I'm working on it slowly. But if it works, then you know what I just realized, Macaroni. By the way, you know Punk Rocker from Superman, the really hopeful
No.
movie. The new Superman is like a really hopeful movie filled with
Yeah.
kindness, love, and it has this song Punk Rocker that goes throughout the movie, and people associate it with just being really hopeful. My Spotify, I just played Punk Rocker on my Spotify. This really hopeful, nice song, and then my Spotify auto-played Invisible by Duran Duran as next one,
Invisible.
which I just don't understand, but I find hilarious. Are you currently teaching someone? Goodness no. I'll add that to my calendar, I suppose. I am not, because I haven't. I'll have to. That's another thing I need to organize. That's something I will need to organize. Yes. To be honest, I first most importantly need to find the time to do so, which I am certain I will be able to. We'll see if someone does. Yeah. There will be also post on the main channel associated with that, and I'll need to create like a way for people to apply, I suppose, now I think of it. I could do it through my website, to be honest. We could do it, we could implement that today on stream, in fact. I need to triage my work a bit to figure out exactly what is it that I need to do today for this video so that I'm able to finish it tomorrow. And then once I triage that work, then I'll be able to figure out what I can let go, and once I know what I can let go, then I'll be able to know when I can work on the website. That's the plan so far.
Bands.
Exactly. Okay. But anyway, I'm so sorry, by the way, now, Stajirko, because you've joined in as I was in the middle of talking about Germany. How is your day going? How has your day been? What's the one thing that takes up most time in your days that you wish you didn't have to do? That's a tricky thing to answer, Josh, no? Because I'll be honest, it's very fluid. How deep do I want to go? I will say it depends on the day very much.
I'll put my money on the cherry checkups.
Actually, not even. No, that's like what,
Dang it.
3 hours a day, and I still get to work on all this stuff in the meantime. They are brilliant. They don't take any time at all. I will say. Let me draw you the picture of what today was like, and then you'll hopefully understand. Basically, what time is it right now? I'm gonna do it up to.
It's 19.
Yeah, so around 6 p.m. is when I started the stream. So let's do up to 6 p.m. And we started at. I started at 9 a.m. Now, this is today, as I mentioned, it varies a lot, so it could be different. And also, this will not be like graphically purely representative because I don't feel like measuring out the specific hours that it took. This is 9 hours, so I should divide into 9 segments, I suppose. Fine, I'll do it. Is it 9 hours? 1, 2, 3? Yeah, it is 9. Brilliant. The first hour I spent preparing for the day, doing my daily routine, eating breakfast, stuff like that. That was a good hour. That was brilliant. Then, from 10 to 11:30, I was working. From 11:30 up to, oh my goodness, 1 p.m. I was I was dealing with bureaucracy. I had to hit up 2 different government bodies.
Oh God.
Then afterwards, I was kind of half working. That was a bit annoying because I was half working. 1, 2, 3 p.m. I was half working and half dealing with bureaucracy. At this point, a little more of bureaucratic problems, and the rest was just work. Well, occasionally interrupted by phone calls. As I mentioned, this live stream will be interrupted by 2 if everything goes to plan. So it's a bit difficult to say because these bureaucratic things, for example, they did take most of my day to day. That is true. However, they are not a recurrent thing. They're done and dusted once they're done. So, for example, next week there will be way less of it. In 2 weeks there will be way less of it. In 3 weeks, if everything goes according to plan, there's going to be a hell of bureaucracy. So that varies. I would say that it would be nicest if with the blue work, if I could have help with that. Because blue work includes working on videos and working on the website. That's what the blue work includes. And that is overwhelming. Because that requires so many different things, different kinds of things. I just can't lock myself into a flow where I'm just doing something for hours because first of all, I keep getting distracted with bureaucracy. Second of all, it's all different types of effort. And third of all, I keep having to... Third one doesn't matter. Third one doesn't matter. Irrelevant for now. Right. There we go. But it will be fine. I'm certain I'll logically when I think about it, I have enough hours in a day, which is what I need. At this point, it's all about discipline, and if I won't manage with discipline, that will be entirely my fault. There we go. I think this would be nice if we had sound effects of some sorts. So I would say the most of it is just work, but unfortunately, I don't like complaining. I don't like people who complain, so I don't enjoy talking about this because I will be honest, this is not fun. I can't imagine you not having discipline of all people. I don't know what that will look like. I don't think I am disciplined enough. the last 2 days, yesterday and the day before that, I just broke down. I'll be honest. I just straight up broke down. So that is living proof that I don't have enough discipline for this. To be fair, today I pulled through, so that's at least something. Oh, what am I doing? That's not the right thing. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, yes.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
Insert the sound effect of Markiplier shocked face.
Yes.
Here we go. Well, yeah, you know what they say, 100 bad days made 100 good stories, 100 good stories make me interesting at parties, which is an AJR reference to anyone who likes. That's not lack of discipline, make it. It is. It very much is. I don't... On one hand, I don't want to talk about it because it's going to ruin the mood of a live stream. On the other hand, unless I specifically mention what it is, then it's kind of difficult to walk around the subject and explain how it's lack of discipline.
I mean, depends what you mean by, first of all, discipline, second of all, what you,
What I mean by discipline is that when I have a job to do, and instead of doing that job, I give into just, primal emotions which don't, disallow me from doing that job, then I consider that to be lack of discipline. Because if you have a task to do and you want to do that task, that's crucial, then, Yeah, it makes sense. You don't have to talk about it in the discipline, but I hope you have someone you can trust to talk about it. Take care. It's not that I don't want to talk about it because I'm ashamed or something. It's just gonna ruin the mood of a live stream, and that's difficult to recover, because then we're gonna have this point where it's an awkward pause. Then I'm gonna need to make a corny joke in order to get out of it, and then for the next 10 to 20 minutes, everyone will not be able to just lightly chat because they will still have that on their mind. That's how it operates.
let's make some really good jokes.
Are you willing to take that responsibility, Macaroni?
Hold on, can I say that here?
I just imagine you putting on comically small glasses with a comically small pocketbook that just says jokes to light up the mood, and all of them just wildly offensive.
Yes, that is precisely what I would have said, what I would have done. It's like, hold on, how do I say that?
Mickey, I care more about hearing you out and being there for you than whether or not I get go for the next 50 minutes. No, it's not a matter of being here for me, because it's something it's a matter of my discipline. It's how should I put it? It's not that I need a therapy session. My problem stems more in it honestly stems more on a psychiatric side of the spectrum, less on the therapeutic, if you will. I always like to imagine it that way.
For real.
When you have...
You just need antipsychotics.
When you have that's how I always like to think of it. Not medical, don't take this as face value, grain of salt, this is my own view of it. But I always imagine it as a spectrum of from a therapist to a psychiatrist, with a psychologist in the middle, of how much of it is dependent by the chemistry of your body, how much is dependent on your thoughts. And my thing is right here. So it's, I don't think I need therapy. I hope not. I mean, at the same time, I want... There's a bottle of Jack Daniels next to me, just looking at me funny. Right, what was I talking about? Yeah, video. I'm gonna get a glass of water.
Water.
Yeah. The point is, none of you should feel responsible for me because, as I mentioned, I'll manage. I've lived through wars and slept through better. I will manage. It's just gonna be a really shitty month. Make it. If you feel like you have a health issue that requires medication, please see a professional. I don't have the time. I don't have the. Actually, I'm not certain if I have insurance at this point. Oh, nor am I certain if my insurance covers it, to be frankly honest. But the main thing is that I don't have time. There is a bit too much to get done in a little too short a time. What I would like to, I know that it's boring and annoying to talk about money, and I genuinely hate it. But the charity will need money. The problem is that the charity, let's just say we've hit a bit of a hiccup with the registration process, which means we cannot accept donations yet. So I don't actually know, once the donations happen, I don't actually know how many donations will come. Which means that I cannot control for it. I cannot make plans assuming a certain amount of donations will come, but the charity will still need money. There is, however, a source of revenue for the charity that I absolutely can control, and that's the videos. Which means that I need to hope for the best, plan for the worst. I need to plan for the worst, assume that there will be no donations, and in that scenario, the entire income of the charity needs to come from those videos, which is why I need to work so hard at the videos. I've put it in a bit of a convoluted way. Don't the videos pay like $2? If they flop, yes. But if they don't flop, then they can pay. And I'm hoping that eventually, if I keep making them, one of them won't flop and then they will do something. I know you have time for health, someone. You may not have the ability for anything else either anymore. That's why I'm saying that it's a matter of discipline in my case, because my problem is not that serious. Alright, shit. Fine, we're going down that road.
So true.
Basically, I have been... It sounds way more serious than it is, to be honest. It sounds... It sounds way more serious than it is. So basically, recently, I've been having something that could be described, has been described by, on occasion, as a psychosis episodes, where I've kind of, sort of, detached from reality, which is why I've been in this fugue state. Now, this is something that I can absolutely fix about myself as long as I'm disciplined enough. The reason why it happens is because I give into the stress, and if I give into the stress, then I fail, because then I spiral, I'm having these episodes, that makes everything worse. What I need to do is I need to keep on working, and I need to find a way to stay calm about the entire procedure. And then, once I do that, my system will reset, I'll stop having them. And if I stop having them, everything will go back to normal, and I can carry on. So all I need to do is just regulate myself. I need to have enough discipline in me to carry on, and it will be fine. It sounds more serious than it is. It's genuinely not as serious as it sounds. That's why I don't want any of you to worry about me, because I have it handled. As I mentioned, it's just a matter of discipline.
Comically small glasses are put on. My notebook, which is little small, is out here. So let's start with the first one.
No, you don't have to. It's fine. I
What?
think we can leave an
Let's start with the
incredibly.
first one. Which one was that again? Let's see.
I think we can leave the incredibly
Which one is a
insensitive
good
jokes
one?
implied. That will be absolutely fine.
The first one.
I can make the corny joke. We don't need a. Listen. I don't want right now this channel
What
to
is
be
a
taken
good
down off
one?
YouTube. That is not a good time,
What is a good
macaroni.
one? Let me see in the chat that I had with bro. The chats that I have with bro.
I
Let
do
me see if
absolutely
there's some
imagine
good
you
ones.
with like tiny glasses looking over.
Yes, precisely.
Now the base, there's one change. It's because we actually go too much to approach this. Well, it does. That's because we actually two options to approach this. Okay, so. Oh, I've already displayed the chain rule. Oh, that just hit me. I probably shouldn't have done that. Unless I move the entire thing out of the way, like so, and then have the other one appear instead. That'll be nice. We may not be big in numbers right now, but until you get more viewers, we will try to support you in the limited ways you can, because you already do so much for us. But it's fine. Listen, just look, I genuinely do appreciate that. But the awful truth is that right now, most of the work for the charity is something that I need to do. There is no, there is no like other ways about it, unfortunately. Which is, but it's fine because as I mentioned, I have planned it out time-wise, and I should have enough time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 10 videos that I need to make over the course of this month, and so far I'm almost on track, which is good. That's a good sign. I really do appreciate it. It's genuinely whenever there will be a way to help, I will mention it. The problem is that right now the circumstances are just unlucky, let's just call it, or a bit subpar. And by that I mean the foundation is a weird limbo state of being both registered in all the ways that are upsetting and unregistered in all the ways that would help, which means it's I have a certain amount of money I need to donate to charity, which the charity then can use. But since the charity doesn't exist yet, that means I cannot spend that money, nor can the charity use it. So it's just on the side. It's really annoying. It is extremely annoying, but it's fine. Because I mentioned, just a month tops.
Right. Are you over? Are you done with all of that?
Yes.
So that I can tell my extremely funny jokes and horribly insensitive.
I would rather not, to be frankly
All right.
honest with you.
What's the difference between?
I didn't kick him, by the way. He just does that. To be fair, that was pretty funny. Okay, Mickey, you'll be right. I'm going to work a bit more now. Let's go. But bye, Emmy. Have a good one. Good luck working. Why are you working at 7 p.m.? Jeez. Girl, my goodness. They are just bleeding you dry. Oh, that is possibly one of the most idiotic notation things I've ever done. Because, I mean, I just... Derivative... I guess I can use it. I kill two birds with one stone. Use it to showcase the notation. Hi there, Ash. Hi.
Two birds when they see you with one stone. He cannot.
He cannot kill us
birds will
both.
see you with one stone and say, he cannot kill us both. He has only one stone.
It always reminds me of that meme, which is, you know, the one like, oh, you can't even say, I'm annoyed because there was a crying child on the bus. Now you have to say, when I'm in a being annoying competition and my opponent is a crying child. New language. Newspeak, if you will. 1984 reference. Okay. Default. Brilliant. Then derivative. No, derivative.
Literally 1984.
Literally 1984.
By the way.
Yeah.
Literally. Also, goblins will see you with a two-hander and say, he does not have he is not cunning enough to sneak around and backstab people.
Brilliant. Gonna go come with a friend. Bye. See you, Timeland. Bye. Have a good one. Oh, the bun. Oh, Ash. I don't German. I don't German, unfortunately. I really should work on the website. That's the issue.
Wizards will see you ride a grand steed and say, he does not have the intelligence to cast teleportation.
wizards would see you skimming round through the valley of shadows and say, "He hath not the might of the arcane to cast invisibility." Well, I'll be not working at work. I'll be working at fixing phone, write protocol, study for exams, maybe draw. That's a very reasonable course of action, I will say. A very reasonable kind of work. Okay. And this. Oh, hi, Macaroni753. How you doing? It's no matter what you do. Twice. This is actually all the pieces of the puzzle be. Because if we collect them all, we can realize that we're looking for a My name is Orange Linux, by the way. They said I love standing on the chair while I am for nothing. Oh. It's not one. Ash, what? What kind of wacky adventures have you been going on? Okay. That's because of the title. Looking for a function dot. That's a good question. We're looking for a function dot. A function where its derivative squared cancels out the constant we've got. Actually, no, that doesn't have to be a list. Function which derivative squared cancels out the constant we've got. A simple one to find. Just take the integral. This gives us the square root. Yeah. Do you only know Polish and English? I would plan to change that at some point. Learn German and or Dutch would be nice. But so far, yeah, only that. Mainly English though. My Polish vocabulary is all over the place. It's absolutely atrocious. In fact, I wouldn't be even able to to translate atrocious properly. Or vocabulary. Or all over the place, my goodness. This gives us the square. The integral of square root, which gives us square root times x plus c. Function we need inside side. And we have to cancel out the constant outside. And now, let's check. System. Yeah. There's a little bit more to mention there, I suppose, which I shall. Is it good enough? Okay, now we can move it to the corner, like so. There we are. Splendid. Splendid, beautiful, and lovely. Hold on, let me think for a second. Yes. Finish the video, because we're really close to finishing out the script of the harmonic oscillator video. Afterwards, we can... afterwards, I will need to work on the website. That's the second highest priority. Tomorrow we'll finish off the partial derivatives. How far are we in the partial derivatives video? We're at minute 45 out of 12 minutes. Not bad actually. 1/6 of the way there. That is really not bad considering how much time I'll have tomorrow for this. That's good. That's really good. Harmonic oscillator. Tomorrow it's Friday, correct? Yes. Harmonic oscillator I could do over the weekend because then I won't have anything else to do. I just checked your first video on the channel and oh boy, you did come a long way in terms of quality. I very much... yeah, I have changed. Funny enough, that wasn't even the first video. There were so many beforehand. I have came miles in comparison to the first ever videos I uploaded to YouTube. But that was ancient history. Ancient history that the tongues of the modern era may not describe in full. When did you pick up this animation style? Did it come naturally to you, refined slowly throughout the years? I would say so, yes. The animation style mainly revolves around just the scene complexity and geometry nodes. On its own, it's actually really simple. I used to do things which organically were more impressive than I am doing right now. Like full scenes of forests and such. But... over time, I realized that geometry nodes are much more helpful when it comes to explaining science. So I just went into this more mathematical type of animating with Blender, which is using the geometry nodes. I'm absolutely atrocious at... so for example, this right here, I'm actually atrocious at organic stuff, but I'm really good at geometry nodes, so stuff like this. This is actually a pretty tame node tree. Let me find something more complicated, just to truly show it off. It's really... it has a similar vibe to programming. I wouldn't say it's similar to programming, because it is quite a fair bit different. Because right here, you don't really have proper loops or proper ifs. Or callbacks in general. Let me think. It could be brackets. Well, those would be semi-neat, I suppose. That still could be something fun to show. This right here, which is the setup for matrices. The way it works is, you take a matrix, and a matrix like so. This is your matrix. But then you can define, if you want it defined in terms of brass or in terms of kets, where kets are above, brass are from the left, makes sense if you've seen the video. You can define the dimensions, so you can have, for example, it is a bit broken with the offset because I never cared to fix that properly. I would need to take like a full boundary to fix it properly. I just never got around to it. But yeah, and then this one is as the matrix, like so, with the colors being a hue circle around the middle, and you can just increase it how much you like this. Hi there, I'm Gaiden. Wait, please, no, actually, partial derivatives. You've been bamboozled. It is actually, in fact, partial derivatives. Okay, so right here we need g of x inside of our f of x. Right. And this time we'll just leave it as an equality, because the whole point here is that up to this point I have not properly yet introduced derivatives. I'm a bit worried about notation here. And I feel like I should play it safe, now that I think about it. I don't want angry nerds coming at me from the comments. I still haven't lived it down to this day. The fact that in my How Math Becomes Difficult video, I did -1 squared is equal to 1 instead of in brackets, and I still get comment about that to this day. Slash dv bracket. I'm actually not even familiar with the package. Hold on. So this is it so far. What is dv? That broke. I don't think I have that package in Blender. So x math from D instead of just normal D. Hold on, let me try it. Math RM D. No, it broke again. Well, actually, no, the D works. Oh, never mind. The D worked. It's just this has to be a fraction. Oh, but now it clashes with the previous D's. Often 12-year-old videos randomly. One is just sitting in nature talking about meaning of life, and the next one you setting a hammer on fire. Such a wild past you have. Yeah, that is. I don't like my old videos. I really don't like them. I think the current ones are much better. But yeah, the word meaning of life videos, and there was also the make it builds a weapon video. Oh my, they're actually such a mess right now. No funk one. There we go. The color theme I can only describe as clownish. That's the only way I can describe it. happens. You should call Remco to do some physics experiment like that. Something illegal, of course. Considering how Remco mainly deals with theoretical physics, I'm certain he would be just delighted to. Experiments in my theoretical physics? No way. Okay, everyone, I am really sorry to cut the stream short, but I've just gotten a message that needs my attending. So, I hope you've enjoyed so far. We had a nice chat, it was quite nice. And, well, I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.